maybe we move out of our home with our families, maybe our friends are not that affectionate. Where do we get nurturing platonic touch? Where do we get hugs? It's said by some we need at least 8 hugs a day for health and wellness. So what do we do when we do not have access to that touch? What do we do when we live in a culture that does not greet with hugs and kisses? This may be a new concept for some of you, but have you ever heard of professional cuddlers or cuddle party? I'm excited to see some have actually experienced this. So when I first introduced this, some people say, oh, there goes Larissa. She's the one who wears the tie-dye, wears the glitter, already does laughter yoga. We know she's kind of out there. This is a whole new chapter of the woo-woo-ness. But let's take a more nuanced approach to figuring out what is available in the world of cuddles. Now, everyone has a different view of cuddles. Would anyone like to share with me, when you hear the word cuddle, what do you picture?
An embrace? Maybe more of a full body embrace.
And many people do. They kind of go right to like spooning, like full body to full body, very close, not something you'd want to do with a stranger necessarily. A lot of people think it's just for romantic relationships, and it is said by those who practice cuddle party that we live in a society where people have to be in a romantic relationship to receive this touch. And so what ends up happening? A lot of people may end up getting together with someone that they know is not the best match for them, they know is not going to help them progress in life, but they may want these nuanced little elements of experience that they could actually end up getting elsewhere. So in a cuddle party, something very important is that we ask and get consent before we do anything. The entire first hour is a communication, boundary, and consent workshop. So I'm going to ask my volunteer, Zachariah, to come up and help me demonstrate a few things that you might witness at a cuddle party. So if you could join me here and sit facing that way.
Sit.
Yep.
On the other side?
Would you be willing to sit back to back with me?
Yes.
Okay. So at a cuddle party, we ask before we do everything. Would you like to take a couple breaths together?
Sure.
Okay, so out, in. And so we can sit here for a while and notice. And professional cuddling is very similar to cuddle party. With cuddle party, we ask before we do everything. With professional cuddling, the opening agreement is that you both agree to speak up if either of you are uncomfortable for any reason. So, would you mind leaning back on me a bit more? So let's say we're sitting like this for a while and my back starts to hurt. It's my job, and we agree before we begin, that I'm going to say, hey, my back's a little bit uncomfortable. Can we adjust? Can we move back a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
So we do not tolerate anything. We do not suffer through anything. And we speak up if we're uncomfortable. People might think that the point of these things is just the platonic nurturing touch, but in reality, many people learn skills they wish they had their whole life, like speaking up when they're uncomfortable, and setting boundaries, telling someone no, and learning that that's not a rejection. If you wanted to go to the cuddle party and you're saying, hey, is this the way to the cuddle party? And I tell you, no, it's down that way. I'm just giving you data. That's not a rejection. So learning to view no in a different way. So Zachariah, will you sit side by side with me?
Sure.
Okay. So at cuddle party, if I want to put my hand on Zachariah's shoulder, I have to say, is it okay if I put my hand on your shoulder?
Yes.
So because he said yes to this does not mean I can start rubbing his shoulder unless I then say, is it okay if I rub your shoulder?
Yes.
So then I can do this. But I can't then go to the elbow because I did not ask. So every step gains consent. And that is something that's very new for a lot of people in this world and can be very healing for those who have had their boundaries breached. Additionally, many people find the cuddle parties and professional cuddling very relaxing, nurturing. It can lower blood pressure, release oxytocin, and the effects can last for some people up to a week. Some people have reduced their reliance on pharmaceuticals to be able to release their own natural endorphins. So I'm a big fan, and I hope that you might consider learning some more. The Cuddle Party Welcome Circle that I mentioned, that's an hour-long workshop, you can stay just for the workshop and then take off before any cuddling occurs. And you can leave at any time. There's also no obligation to touch anyone. You can go to a cuddle party, take a nap in the corner. You can read. Some people have said this is the best nap they've ever had among all this nurturing connection and love. So while it has seemed very peculiar to many people when they first hear of this out there sounding activity, most people who have attended find they have a very positive, relaxed feeling. And there are even those who think there's no way they would possibly like it. When they are read the Welcome Circle, they are very surprised to see how much of a workshop it is, that you do not just show up and pile together like a football pile. So I hope this has been a bit of an illumination on the various nuances of platonic nurturing touch. And I hope that someday you all can get all the hugs you need and that we can all live more in peace, love, and connection. Mr. Toastmaster.